It's official, guys. Eli is coming back. He has been on the bike for probably a week and a half. I'm pretty late for the upload, but it's official. The outdoors is on. That was pretty much already the plan, but if there was any doubt, we can lay that to rest. Eli, number 3, my favorite, many of your guys' favorite rider. He is coming back. Boy, do we need it. What a miserable, crappy, flat out depressing season of Supercross this has been. Has it been the most disappointing season relative to expectations ever? Certainly since I've been following, I would say yeah. There was so much excitement to see Jet Lawrence battle Eli Tomac, to see where Jorge Prado was going to shake out his first full year in Supercross, whether Hunter Lawrence was going to make that next step up. He really did good in last year's outdoor, and so there was the assumption that, boy, he is going to be battling it out with his little brother and Eli and Chase and everyone. And all of that pretty much came to perhaps not an immediate end, but in a few races, it was all over. Jorge Prado, I mean, I don't even need to go over it. We know what happened. The majority of the riders that we were excited to see ride and race, they were out within the first, 5 races? And it's just sucked. This is no disrespect to Cooper Webb and Chase Sexton. They have been sort of holding the fort down and battling it out. But it's been depressing. And that's even before we get into all the off-track drama. But that's not what today's video is about. Today's video is about the excitement. I'm already getting fired up because this outdoor, finally we're seeing Eli Tomac back. He looked great he won the 3rd race, or he has got the speed. He has got the hunger and the intensity, and we know Supercross he's figured that out a little bit slower than he did sort of what I consider is his bread and butter motocross. He's got 4 or 5, I'm terrible with numbers, so he's got 4 or 5 outdoor titles and 2 Supercross titles. He would have had more had all the shenanigans not happened, but this is exciting, and I'm going to talk about why it's not only exciting, but why he is the favorite. And I believe you could argue the strong favorite. And there's a couple reasons that I'm going to talk about why that is. My enthusiasm and excitement for Supercross was definitely waning. There's too many races. That also adds to it. I kind of realized one of the reasons why motocross, when there's too many races happening too often, it gets a little boring, is when you think of a traditional team sport, one of the upsides is that you're seeing different players, right? You're seeing this team battle this team, and then the next weekend they'll go somewhere else and battle a different team, obviously. But in Supercross, it's the same faces every single weekend. Yeah, we got the East Coast and West Coast with 250, but for the 450, you're seeing the same riders every single weekend. There's no way to avoid it, but the majority of the camera time is focused on the top 5 dudes, and those top 5 dudes are pretty much the same dudes 80% of the time. And I kind of realized, oh yeah, that's why it gets kind of boring. And one of the futures races, when I was watching the Supercross, I was super excited, and I was like, oh yeah, that's why I'm excited. I don't get to see these riders ride that often. They're new faces, new experiences. I get sort of to figure out, where everybody is at, who's better, who's still figuring, who's still kind of honing their craft. And so this is kind of a side tangent, but it is why I believe the sport would benefit the fan base if there was fewer races. 17 is too many. I think for the majority of the fans, with the exception of just the absolute most hardcore, you get burnt out by the end. You're like, been there, seen it. Supercross tracks are pretty similar. You get to see the same guys race all the time. And obviously when sort of the heavy hitters are out, all this adds up to ultimately it gets a little boring. I can't imagine there's a Supercross fan out there that's not like, yeah, I've lost a little bit of enthusiasm towards the end. But it is going to start anew, because when we head outdoors, not only do I just get excited for outdoors because it's totally different from Supercross, but ultimately what today's video is about is Eli Tomac and a few of the reasons why I believe he's not only can win the title, he is the favorite. So the first one is kind of a segue from what I was already talking about, burnout. Typically, when we move to the outdoors, the riders, and especially the riders that have been fighting for the championship in Supercross, they're burnt out. The Supercross hangover is a real thing. And really, no matter what happens, if you're in that top 5, if you're winning it, you got that kind of like adrenaline dump lull. You finally accomplish it. Yes, Supercross is a bigger deal than motocross. And so when you get that, and then you go, oh yeah, in 2 weeks, I got to literally reset the clock and fire it back up. Typically, it takes a little bit of time because you're just like, A, you're over it, you're tired, you've been traveling for months on end. Anybody that's flown in airplanes and just done a lot of traveling, it wears you down. And so these riders, as finely tuned as they are, they're tired, they're beat up, they're fatigued. And so this is one of the first key advantages for Eli Tomac is he is fresh as a daisy. He has been not only focusing exclusively on motocross, but he has had time to recover, recharge, spending time with his family, his kids. He's doing the Colorado thing. And so when all these riders are, doing the hectic Supercross week in, week out schedule, he's allowed himself to recover. And so I believe he's going to be coming in the first round just chomping on the bit where the rest of the riders are kind of hung over, so to speak. So that's the first advantage. The second reason is I believe Eli Tomac is extremely motivated. Again, we had a season that he looked on form. He had the speed. He won that race. He looked phenomenal. It was looking like, here we go, a 17-round battle. And we already know what happened. It ultimately came to an end. And I can tell you that Eli is frustrated. He is just annoyed that literally the past couple of years, he hasn't really been able to show his true self. Obviously, the 2023 title was kind of taken from him. I'm so bad with numbers, but the past couple of years has been incredibly disappointing. And when you are an athlete in any sport, what you want to do is to be able to sort of show your best. And at the end of the day, go, that was everything I had. I put it on the line, whether it's a win or fifth. Ultimately, there's a sense of satisfaction there because that's all you can do. Well, Eli hasn't really been able to do that. Last year was his first year back after the Achilles, and then he ended up getting hurt later in Supercross, right? And the thumb injury, missed some motocross. It's just been lots of setbacks and moments of frustration where it's like, I would assume that Eli's like, man, I just want to be able to show that I still have the speed, I still have the desire. We don't really know what his future looks like in terms of teams. So this is kind of an interesting segue into the third reason, but the second reason is he is going to be motivated to do it because Supercross was a disappointment. So the next one is we don't know what the sort of assumption is with Eli. Is this going to be his last season? Period. End of story. It seems like kind of the rumor mill is suggesting that he might do a Supercross only deal, but I don't believe anything's been signed. We don't even know if Star Racing Yamaha is going to have a spot open for him. So if Eli does want to continue racing, whether Supercross and motocross or just anything, he's got to put in some good performances. This sport does not have a large number of teams. I mean, it's got more than it used to, so we are in a better state in that respect, but you still need to put performances that reminds the team managers and the owners that yes, this dude has still got it. He's hungry. He can still win races, and I believe he can still win the title. And if Eli does win the motocross title, I mean, he could say that's it, retire, and I would be 100% in support of that. But let's say he does not decide to do that and wants to continue racing. Well, the better he does in motocross, the better the offers are, the more lucrative those offers are going to be, and the better team options that they're going to be, right? He wants to get on the best bike that he possibly can. I would assume he would prefer to stay with Star Racing Yamaha. Let's say theoretically that doesn't happen for whatever reason. The better he does in motocross, the more opportunities and the more doors are going to be open for other teams. So that is another reason why I believe he is going to be really excited and really eager to prove himself. And the next one is pretty obvious. Jet Lawrence is unlikely to make all of the rounds. His timeline has not been sort of clearly communicated yet. He's likely to race some motocross, but it's unlikely how much. And if you even miss one or two races, the overall is over. It's done. It's looking very unlikely that he's going to be there to contest for the overall. Cooper Webb, we know, incredible Supercross rider, just does not have it in the outdoors. pretty much as soon as he jumped into the 450 class, he's just not there with those top tier dudes. And so Cooper Webb's just not a factor. And Chase Sexton has had just what else to say other than a continuing in this frustrating, mistake-prone season. Chase should be absolutely just beating Cooper Webb handedly. Had Chase Sexton made 50% fewer mistakes, he would be up by like 30, 40, 45 points. He has got the speed, but what has kind of been established as one of his unfortunate tendencies is when the pressure is on, when he needs to perform, when that rider is behind him and riding his ass, he kind of fumbles. And it sucks to say that, but it is what it is. This season has been, there was a 4 or 5 or 6 race chunk where he made so many mistakes. He would have literally won 3, 4, 5 races more had he not made these kind of, again, as we have come to expect, these second to last lap or last lap mistakes. And for whatever reason, he hasn't been able to figure it out. And when someone like Cooper Webb is on him and is starting to apply the pressure, and he knows exactly that, okay, this is when Chase Sexton tends to drop it, it's happened a lot. And when I look at that in Supercross, there's no reason for me to assume that all of a sudden he's going to be Mr. Consistency in the outdoors. He's probably maybe a better outdoor rider. I would say he's quite good at both of them. But when I imagine Eli Tomac at his best, and I do think that Eli Tomac will likely be at his best or pretty near it, and after a few races will be, he already won a Supercross race against Jet Lawrence. In motocross, I would assume, is going to come easier. And so I believe Eli Tomac is going to be at his best, and Chase Sexton has had just kind of a weird season. He should be winning. He doesn't have Jet Lawrence, Eli Tomac, Jorge Prado, although he was unlikely to be a title contender, or Hunter Lawrence to deal with, and he's in second. It's been disappointing. There's no sugarcoating it. He is faster than Cooper Webb, but Cooper Webb is just so much better in racecraft, in management mode, and avoiding those kind of pitfalls. And because of that, Cooper Webb's in the lead, very likely to win the title. But when I sort of transfer that to the outdoors, when I put Chase against Eli, I like Eli's sort of his skill set, his ability to manage the pressure. Eli has already gone head-to-head with Chase and came out the victor. And so what does this all add up to? I believe Eli Tomac is going to be the 2025 Motocross overall title winner. But what's even more exciting is we got MX of Nations. This has been kind of on the back burner. Everybody's forgotten about it. It's in the U.S. Let's imagine Eli Tomac, 2025 title winner, with Chase Sexton and you-know-who, Danger Boy on the 250. Talk about a superstar team. So what cooler way to end the summer than to have Eli win the title, or even Chase. I'm not rooting against Chase, but let's say Eli does it and then they go to the MX of Nations and have the 3 super stud Americans. That would be awesome. And so there's also that carrot dangling. Hayden Deegan finally 250. I don't think the fans would allow him to avoid it. He's doing it no matter what. I'm not saying he was avoiding it, but that would be so rad. And so ultimately, my excitement is just starting to rev back up. Eli Tomac's coming back. He's on the bike. He was talking about doing coming back for the last race in Supercross. Why? Why bother with it? Focus on outdoors. Utilize the advantage that you have. Allow these other dudes to do Supercross. It's just, I don't see why he would. Just focus on outdoors. That's what the fans want to see. That would certainly be the thing that I would prefer him to do, is not try to do one Supercross race. What's the upside? I guess you're getting the gate drop experience, but let's save it for the outdoors. It's probably, like 2.5, 3 months away. There's still quite some time, but I'm already excited. I want to hear what you guys think. Are you as pumped and enthusiastic with Eli's chances as I am? Are you excited to finally see him back? We all know we've needed it. It's been a weird year, but finally there is some reason to rejoice and go, it's time to get the train back on. If you are a Eli Tomac super fan, myself certainly included in that camp, I'm getting excited, and I would imagine many of you are too. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment, and hope you enjoyed the video.